It's funny if you look at science again, they have all sorts of theories. There's a unified field theory. There's quantum theory. Theory implies guess, because we don't know. All right? Now, this information that is being presented here, you will be shown the structure of 15-dimensional physics. You will be shown the structures that exist within those structures that allow us to create what's called the hologram of matter. This is not a theory. Now, scientists would love to argue with me, I'm sure. Well, how do you know it's not a theory? Everything is a theory. No, it isn't. Fortunately, there are levels of reality. There are beings in levels of reality that have not been involved with the distortions of consciousness and biology that have taken place on this planet, who have held the records, who have held the original creation records that literally detail the spiritualized science by which creation itself is brought into manifestation by a common source intelligence that many people choose to call God. It's not a God that sits on a big throne and has a white beard and stuff. It's a consciousness. We were created in the image of God. That doesn't mean we're all men. That was a man twist. Humans created that one. We were created in the image of God as consciousness, as spirit, as awareized energy. Now, we're going to learn about the structure of how we as awareized energy got ourselves into this predicament of being stuck in a mortal body. We're going to learn 15-dimensional structure. And I will teach this to you as an absolute, not as a theory. Now, you have the absolute free will choice to take anything I say and consider it a theory, a guess, or a belief, as opposed to something that is known. But in my life and in my world, these things are known. So I teach with a lot of conviction, because I'm not teaching you guesses. I'm teaching you what I've known and found to be true. Part of the reason that, even though I was painfully shy all through my growing up stage, and I literally dropped out of college because I had a public speaking class as a requirement, and I got an A on my written speech, and it was my turn to go up and read it. And I couldn't deal with it because I was terrified of talking to people this way. I was used to telepathy, but not speaking. Now, what could possibly get somebody who's that painfully shy up doing what I'm doing, talking about absolutely radical theories of science and spirit in front of all sorts of audiences all over the world? You can't fake that one. It takes a lot of conviction. It takes a knowing and a desire to share a truth that has created a freedom in my life. A freedom that, because I know these things, because I've been taught these things, and I have used the technologies, I have found levels of my own consciousness, got them back into body. I have learned to do things with my consciousness, and we're beginning to learn how to do them with our bodies, that are science fiction compared to what science tells you is possible. I know that these are the freedom teachings, and if I can at least get some of that across to each one of you, and each one of you will get a little piece that's all your own. It'll mean something different to every one of you, because every one of you came here for a different reason. There's a need that brought every one of you here, a core need that you might not even know on a conscious level, but there was some piece of information that you were looking for that would be your next step to grab hold of, so you could start to make a difference and start to find your power again. Because what's happened on this planet to everybody is that we have lost our power. Right now, we walk around in a world that appears to inflict itself on us from the moment we take our first breath. We appear to be in a world that happens to us, not a world that we create. We appear to have all sorts of things coming at us constantly. That is a very real appearance when you're stuck here. But when we start to realize the framework of reality that is creating this, when we start to realize this is a hologram field, what's that? It's a thought form field. That means, theoretically, my thoughts should be able to influence it, right? Theoretically. Well, they do. If your DNA imprint was working the way it was designed to work by its divine blueprint, by the original blueprint that Source created humans to be, you would be able to literally manifest everything directly into matter with no problem at all. There are a lot of ascension teachings out there these days in the New Age movement. They will teach you it's all mind over matter. Just believe this or believe that, and poof, so it will be. Well, it's like there's a lot of poofs happening out there, but people are still sitting in their chairs. Nobody's demanifested yet. Nobody's been able to manifest a house like that right before them when they only have 2 pennies in their pocket. There's a lot of promises being made in the New Age movement with what we call partial and or false ascension teachings that are teaching you part of the mechanics of the way the mind is indeed supposed to be able to, as a spirit, create what it desires in matter. But what is not being taught is what is stopping that process from working functionally and effectively, where each one of us could not worry about life because we'd be able to manifest what we desire. We can use positive thinking. We can use affirmations. I am this now. I am whole now. I am demanifesting now. I'm still here. That is the beginning, learning to use the mental body more effectively. But if it were that simple, you would demanifest now once you gave the command. The reason the commands don't jump into immediate action in our 3D world is because there's a distortion taking place between our mind thought patterns and we as spirit desiring to do something, and the chemical realities in the body and the energy realities behind them. There are distortions taking place in the templates that are taking what our intention is and doing things to it, and it comes out to be something different in the hologram. Since 25,500 BC, there's been something wrong with the planetary grids in the way they're running frequency. There's been a problem in the electromagnetic fields on the planet, and that has created severe mutation in the DNA.